Individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff.
Every day I'm working on that case. Every day we're figuring something out. Every day we're talking to investigators. And that's essentially what Alex did on this case.
Hold on to your seats. The Diddy courtroom saga just exploded with Tony Buzbee, the star attorney leading the charge against the music mogul, suddenly dropping out of the case. In a twist nobody saw coming, this high-profile legal warrior abruptly abandoned what might be the most scandalous case of the decade, leaving dozens of alleged victims wondering if they'll ever see justice. The bombshell has everyone asking, what really happened?
That part, because whether it's a real lawsuit or something that you're just shooting to see if you can get some money, you can sue anybody for anything. But the sad thing about it is if the person loses that...
The news hit like a meteor crash. Tony Buzbee, known for his absolutely fierce courtroom presence and take-no-prisoners legal style, wasn't just representing a handful of people. He was fighting for over 120 men and women who claimed they suffered unimaginable treatment at Diddy's hands. For more than a year, Buzbee was the fearless face of this enormous legal battle, making headlines with his fiery statements and bold accusations. And now, with the trial looming closer, he's just gone. Vanished from the case just like that. The shocker? Buzbee withdrew because he wasn't admitted to practice law in the Southern District of New York, the exact jurisdiction for Diddy's case. A tiny oversight became a complete disaster. The judge demanded answers, but instead of fighting, Buzbee stepped aside, calling it an error in judgment. He expressed regret for distracting from justice for the victims, but damage was done. Though he promised his colleagues would continue the case, the captain had abandoned ship in stormy waters.
I said, for me, I was going to ask y'all what your predictions is. For me, if Jay-Z is successful at what he's doing right now, this is going to set a principle for a lot of these.
The fallout from Buzbee's exit was immediate and absolutely devastating. First off, it sent massive shockwaves through the entire team of attorneys. Buzbee wasn't just another lawyer. He was the brilliant mastermind, the strategic genius with the charisma and influence to take on someone as powerful as Diddy. Without him, the prosecution suddenly looked vulnerable and shaky, like someone had yanked the foundation out from under a towering legal case. And Diddy's legal team? Oh honey, they pounced immediately.
She sort of retracted the allegation she made against Diddy, but according to this, she never made them against Jay-Z without the prodding of Buzbee. This is a pretty devastating document if it's true.
It's interesting now because Jay-Z obviously is going after Tony Buzbee and could decimate him because Jay-Z does have a lot of money. They were right about that.
Diddy's lawyers, playing defense for months, saw their golden opportunity. They immediately framed Buzbee's exit as proof the case was crumbling, questioning the entire prosecution's credibility. You could see them smirking as they plotted their next moves. Behind closed doors, sources described the atmosphere in Diddy's camp as festive. They celebrated Buzbee's exit as the turning point, the moment power shifted dramatically in their favor. After months under relentless pressure, they finally saw a path to negotiate favorable terms or demolish the case entirely.
Do this alone. Do you foresee that there could be other charges related to this case?
I'm not taking anything off the table.
No one wants to mention.
But let's remember who's really suffering here, the victims. For them, Buzbee's withdrawal wasn't just disappointing, it was absolutely heartbreaking. Many came forward specifically because of his reputation, believing if anyone could stand up to an icon like Diddy, it was him. They trusted Buzbee to amplify their voices and fight for them in a way no one else could. Now, with him gone, they're left wondering if their stories will ever truly be heard, if justice will ever actually be served. I can't even imagine how betrayed they must feel.
Ruled that the rapper and producer Sean Diddy Combs will stand trial on federal trafficking and racketeering charges in May. He'll be held in prison until then. Sean Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges that he used his business empire to transport women and male workers across state lines to take part in recorded performances. If convicted, he could face a life sentence.
In the days after the bombshell announcement, reactions poured in from absolutely everywhere. Legal experts fiercely debated the fallout. Some argued Buzbee's absence could devastate the prosecution's chances, while others took a more measured view, suggesting the case's strength would ultimately determine its fate. But there's no denying the heavy symbolic weight of his exit. It cast a dark shadow over the proceedings that the prosecution will have to work incredibly hard to overcome. Rumors flew about why Buzbee missed such a crucial detail. Innocent mistake or something darker? Some whispered about conspiracy theories, suggesting powerful forces orchestrated his withdrawal. After all, this case involves someone with deep pockets and massive influence. As shock faded, the prosecution scrambled to regroup. The remaining attorneys needed to prove the case wasn't dependent on Buzbee alone and reassure everyone the fight for accountability would continue. With the trial date looming and stakes sky high, they had zero time to waste.
Actually, some interesting stories. We're going to lead off with what's going on in that Jay-Z case, which we thought went away. We thought the woman who accused him of with Diddy after the VMAs, I believe back in 2000, had dismissed her case, and you thought it would just go away. It is not.
For Diddy, the timing couldn't have been more perfect. Just as the walls seemed to be closing in, with new allegations and lawsuits piling up, this unexpected twist offered a glimmer of hope. His legal team finally had room to breathe, to recalibrate, to mount a more aggressive defense. While public opinion remained deeply divided, the real battle would happen in the courtroom. And the drama surrounding Buzbee's departure? It was only just beginning. The ripple effects would continue to influence not just this case, but the broader story of accountability in the entertainment industry. As tensions mounted, all eyes turned to the interconnected legal battles looming on the horizon, drawing in even bigger names and raising even more explosive questions.
Jay-Z. So remember, the woman who sued as a Jane Doe dismissed her lawsuit with prejudice. She said, I will not be refiling this, but a dismissal with prejudice is just that. It's a document that says, I dismissed this lawsuit. It says nothing else. It doesn't say I lied about the claims. It doesn't say anything. It just says I dismissed.
But the chaos from Tony Buzbee's shocking exit didn't just rock Diddy's case. It sent massive waves through a web of interconnected legal battles, dragging in other massive names, including, wait for it, Jay-Z. Yes, you heard that right. What started as one case against Diddy has exploded into something much bigger, a tangled mess of lawsuits and accusations that could completely rewrite the rules for accountability in the entertainment world. At the center of this storm are two of hip-hop's biggest moguls, both desperately fighting to save their reputations in courtrooms that seem to get more chaotic every single day. The connection between Diddy and Jay-Z isn't just about their shared music industry history. It's about overlapping allegations and legal strategies that have pulled them both into this whirlwind of controversy. Jay-Z's troubles began when he was named as a defendant in one of the lawsuits tied to Diddy, a lawsuit claiming the two men were involved in an incident allegedly occurring decades ago. The allegations were absolutely explosive, and while Jay-Z has fiercely denied everything, just having his name connected to such claims sent massive shockwaves through his entire camp.
Because, you know, obviously this civil suit was coming for a while, and there was some talk between Buzbee and Jay-Z's lawyers. I think both Buzbee and Jay-Z's lawyers are really alphas.
What's truly fascinating is Tony Buzbee's role in all this. Before his sudden exit from Diddy's case, Buzbee was also involved in the legal fight against Jay-Z. In fact, Jay-Z went so far as to file a defamation lawsuit against Buzbee, accusing him of making reckless, malicious claims that damaged his reputation. Jay-Z's team didn't hold anything back. They alleged Buzbee cared more about grabbing headlines than uncovering truth. And here's the bombshell. They claimed Buzbee pushed these lawsuits just to get financial settlements, basically accusing him of using the legal system for personal gain.
And it opens yourself up to some negligence claims. Again, I don't know if Jay-Z is going to go that far, but certainly I think it does open himself up to some negligence claims. Maybe that was part of the reason why he dismissed with prejudice. I don't.
But it gets juicier. Jay-Z's lawsuit brought in private investigators and sworn statements claiming the accusations were deliberately fabricated to extort money. They highlighted major inconsistencies, like an alleged incident at a music awards after-party when Jay-Z's team proved he wasn't even there. In one lawsuit, a plaintiff withdrew her claims citing safety concerns, yet insisted her story was true. Jay-Z's team claimed her withdrawal proved the allegations were baseless, yet the shadow of accusation kept the case burning hot in media circles.
Walked away, got no money.
Got nothing.
Over.
And Jay-Z celebrated that, the fact that...
We should say, and it was filed by the lawyer who has filed a slew of lawsuits.
What's truly mind-blowing is how these cases have become completely intertwined. Not just legally, but in everyone's imagination. Diddy and Jay-Z are two of the most recognizable names on the planet, and their reputations have always been central to their brands. For years, they've seemed untouchable, icons who transcended music to become cultural powerhouses. But now they're both facing battles that could completely redefine how the world sees them, and perhaps even how they see themselves. Diddy's been dealing with an absolute avalanche of allegations that go far beyond the initial claims. Since his arrest last year, more cases have been filed, each more shocking than the last. The accusations paint a disturbing picture of someone who allegedly abused power and influence, creating an environment where harm and intimidation were supposedly tools of control. Diddy's legal team has, of course, denied all wrongdoing, calling the allegations baseless and vowing to fight them in court.
Now, this particular defense attorney's reason for quitting wasn't really a reason at all, making his departure a lot more puzzling.
The evidence against Diddy keeps mounting, from disturbing videos to damning testimonies. Most shocking is that CNN surveillance footage showing what appears to be a physical altercation with ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura. Though Diddy's team claims the 2016 video was manipulated, the footage speaks volumes. Cassie's lawyer dismissed claims of doctoring, expressing total confidence it will hold up in court. Meanwhile, authorities have raided Diddy's properties, seizing evidence, with both sides gearing up for an epic battle. Jay-Z has taken the opposite approach, aggressively hitting accusers with defamation lawsuits. This risky strategy sends a clear message that false claims won't be tolerated, though it could backfire if new evidence emerges. For now, Jay-Z remains confident, focused on clearing his name.
Okay, so last hour when we left off, you had asked me, did Tony Buzbee respond to Jay-Z?
Yes.
And he did. So he responded.
These cases have pulled in countless other names, creating a tangled web of legal battles. From former associates to corporate partners, the list keeps growing. Some companies have distanced themselves while others watch silently from the sidelines. Even more alarming are whispers about enablers, high-profile individuals who allegedly looked the other way or actively participated. Insiders suggest some of entertainment's biggest players might soon face uncomfortable questions. The possibility that this scandal could implicate more than just Diddy and Jay-Z has created serious unease throughout the industry. Adding fuel to the fire, several of Diddy's former bodyguards and staff have reportedly been subpoenaed. These once trusted insiders could provide damning testimony or support his claims of innocence, with enormous stakes for all involved.
Did that not because he want to shake you down, but because you tried to scare my client, so she wants to come out swinging too. She's not backing down.
Legal experts are stunned by this unprecedented situation. Cases spanning years of alleged incidents, multiple jurisdictions, and such high-profile defendants almost never happen. The complex legal strategies have left even seasoned attorneys amazed. This isn't just a legal battle, it's a public relations war and fight for survival with escalating stakes. The core truth emerging is that this goes beyond Diddy or Jay-Z. It's about power systems that let certain people operate unchecked for years. It's about the courage of those coming forward and an industry accused of turning blind eyes to troubling behavior. The coming months will be decisive. Will Diddy's team discredit the evidence? Will Jay-Z's defamation lawsuits silence or invite more claims? And will accusers who risked everything be heard or drowned out by powerful defense teams? Share your thoughts and stay tuned as this explosive story continues to unfold.